Hi, I'm Emma, and for my experiment, I was interested in the impact of social media engagement on the social skills and peer relationships of children and adolescents. So it's no surprise that using social media websites is among the most common activities of today's children and adolescents. I'm interested in understanding how this increased engagement is changing peer relationship dynamics and impacting social skills. Are the effects of social media negatively or positively impacting these factors? There was surprisingly little research conducted to either support or disprove my initial hypothesis, so I ended up making some changes to my original research question. In the beginning of this assignment, my assumptions were that the effects of social media on young individuals would be primarily negative. I was curious to know if social media is causing things like social anxiety, low self-esteem, and introversion. But as it turns out, young people are actually using social media to overcome these barriers, finding social media interaction to be more approachable than face-to-face communication. Young individuals are using social media to compensate for these barriers, enhancing their ability to form and better peer relationships. I feel as though I can infer that when a young person has fulfilling peer relationships, their social skills will be greater developed. After researching my topic, I established that social media is creating an entirely new context for interaction. The interaction between people online and offline are fundamentally different, yet many online experiences mirror offline experiences, simply in that new environment. For example, socioeconomic status offline is equally present online. If an individual is so-called popular offline, they are popular online, and the same goes for individuals who are victimized by peers. This victimization translates from offline to online. Furthermore, those who are socially competent offline are capable of displaying that competence online as well, as long as they have proper knowledge regarding the etiquette of communicating in each context specifically. Of course, there are many risks associated with young individuals' engagement in social media, such as cyberbullying, limited learning of nonverbal cues, and a higher risk of social isolation for those who choose not to or do not have the option to engage. Research states that social media use can actually enhance the peer relationships of young individuals through means of increased interaction time and compensation for social barriers such as shyness and introversion. So now I'll take you through the details of my finalized experiment plan. The independent variable is engagement in social media. The dependent variable is the quality of social skills and peer relationships. And my operational definition for the DV goes as follows. A survey will be completed to measure the quality of peer relationships and social skills that participants possess. The survey will measure specific components of peer relationships, such as conflict resolution, trust, comfortability, attentiveness, and closeness. My participants will include two groups of 20 children and adolescents ranging in age from 10 to 16. The first group will consist of participants who regularly engage in social media, and the second being individuals who rarely or never engage in social media. My material, I suppose, is relatively simple. It's a questionnaire completed by the participants designed to identify the quality of existing relationships with peers. The questionnaire will have questions relating to conflict resolution, trust, comfortability when communicating with peers, level of attentiveness displayed in these interactions, and overall feelings of closeness to peers. And the procedure is a simple one as well. Participants will complete the questionnaires, and they will be cross-examined to determine which group has higher quality peer relationships, and how these relationships differ across groups. These questionnaires will allow insight into the social competence or social skills of each participant. Some of the confounding variables for my proposed study go as follows. Engagement in extracurricular activities, or activities that promote in-person interaction between children and adolescents. Previously existing mental health conditions such as anxiety or social anxiety, social barriers such as shyness, bullying, language, etc., socioeconomic status, and how each participant engages in social media. So whether they're using social media primarily to interact with peers or if they're using it to view other content on the network. A practical consideration for this study is that it relies heavily on honesty and the complete disclosure of participants. Though confidentiality will be discussed, some participants may be skeptical. Ethically, this study does not pose much concern, since there will be no direct manipulation of participants. There will be complete disclosure of intent with the participants. All ethical considerations will be present in this experiment, including confidentiality, respect, responsible care, and the right to withdraw. Some additional considerations go as follows. In asking the participants themselves to complete surveys, it is important to consider that not all results will be accurate or truthful. Lack of social skills or failure in peer relationships may be due to other causes. It's important to consider these outside variables. And the amount of time spent on social media throughout participants must be relatively consistent to yield accurate results. Here are my references. Thank you for watching.